Hey ya, welcome to Zville Lessons for Live channel. My name is Xander Villain, and this is lesson 18 in our beginner guitar lesson series. We're going to keep covering the same materials we have in the last few lessons and expanding upon that, but we're also going to get into a few new things. Pinch harmonics, regular harmonics, and some other cool stuff that are within the scale positions. So, let's get right into this. Alright, welcome to lesson 18 in our beginner guitar lesson series. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit like and subscribe. That'll help our channel grow. Let's do a quick recap, or a long recap sometimes. Depends on how much I want to talk. But what we were working on was the minor pentatonic scale out of A. We're staying in A because it's a pretty easy position. If you wanted to do like a G flat, it gets a little confusing on where you go to your next positions. But on A, it seems to be pretty straightforward. So that's why we're working out of A. But what we're teaching, you can move to any position, depends on what note the song is based out of. A, minor pentatonic scale, is based out of the 6th string, 5th fret, because that's your root note of A. The second easiest position to find is your 4th position, because that's where your A is on your 5th string, on your 12th fret or your open. So that's where your 4th position is going to be based. Right? We just learned last lesson the 3rd position. And that's the one with basically all the notes are either on the 10th fret when you're based out of A or the 12th, except for on the 3rd string you go down 1 as you're climbing, and on the 2nd string you go up 1 on the top end. So 2 4 2 4 2 4 1 4 2 5 1 or 2 4. And that's the only position, the 3rd position is the only position where you go above 4. Everything is always in between 1 and 4, except for here. And that one note is in the 5th fret position of the 3rd position location on your neck when you're playing the minor pentatonic scale. See how it's 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4. That stays consistent. Your 5th one is 2 4 2 4 1 4 1 4 2 4 1 2 4. We talked about when you find your root note A, and that's where your scale is going to be based out of. This is your 1st position climb. This is what they call the dam. I call it the separation point between the top of the 5th position and the beginning of the 1st position. I just called that the separation wall, but I've heard it called the dam as well, because it's just every note on that fret is in play. So when you've got your 1st minor pentatonic scale, whatever note, G, A, B, C, 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4, it's all ones, right? Every other one you shift down or up at some point in the climb, except for here. The next closest one would be the 3rd, where you've got almost every note on that and almost every note on that. Back to A again, guys. We also talked about double stops, a little bit more of that in your lead playing. We talked about, and we'll get into that a little bit on this lesson too. We also talked about bending on the last one. We'd done some bending, but we hadn't talked about it. See that? You usually want to go up to a note that's complementary to the scale. So you don't want to go to this note. You can. It's a little dissonant, but most of the time you're going to go up to this note, because that's, there it is. Same note, part of the scale. So we were talking about those. Then we got into combining notes. So this is going to be the note that I'm going to try to go to on this one, because here it is. So I'm going to take this and bend up to it, and then I'm going to combine them. Usually on the E string based and the B string, your 2nd string and your 1st string. B string, 2nd string. that? So we were talking about that. We'll work a little bit more on that. And then we were working on the teeny weeny a little bit again. I keep going back to that because it's that spider climb. And it's based out of the 1-4-5 blues, 1, 4, and 5. So that's what we were working on this lesson. We haven't got into picking a lot lately because you should have been working on your picking on your own. I don't do finger picking, so I'm really not going to cover this in this beginner series. I usually just pick with my pick. Once in a while I'll do plucks. They're not picks. So little plucks like that, but not much. I'm not that guy. I'm not a finger picker like some country guy or something like that. So let's get into this lesson at this point. I'm going to start with a little of this bending and double stops. I'm not going to cover all of the double stop theory in this series because that's more of an intermediate thing. I just want to get you guys thinking in playing leads other than single notes. So what we were working on is taking any position that covers the notes that are in the scale and not just playing one note, but playing two. And that's considered a double stop, but it's not part of the complicated double stop theory, which I'm not very good at actually. But I can do that because when you're going up your scale, this is your first position. See that? 1, 3, 1, 4, right? So these two, 3 and 4. Well, it's the same thing on the second position. 1, 3, 2, 4. That's part of your second position. Because if you listen, so bum, 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 bum. See how they're the same notes? Well, here's your second position. That means that and that are the notes of your scale, second position. And you can do that. I wanted to talk about this. I keep forgetting to talk about this. This is the E and the B string. When on all the scales, everywhere on all the scales, it's always going to be two notes right next to each other. Except for when you get into the fourth position. Then it splits, and then the top of the fourth position is there, which is also here. So you got those two, because this is your fourth position here, right? That's your fourth position. Well, you got that, and then you got, and then you're back to the same thing. That's the same, one octave apart. That's your G position. This is your G position. We talked about that in earlier lessons, your G cheat. If you don't want to do the whole chord, you can cheat with the bottom four strings, right? So, part of the fifth, part of the fourth and the fifth, part of the fifth and the first, part of the first and the second, part of the second and the third, part of the, and then here's the weird one, part of the third and the fourth. Then you're back to part of the fourth and the fifth again, right? If you keep that in mind when you're trying to do leads, double stops, it's always going to be that's all part of your minor pentatonic scale. Those are all the notes within the scales. Now I cheated there. That's that Tom Petty thing we were talking about a few lessons ago. So keep working on that. So now I've showed you this oddball, fourth position. And I like that fourth position oddball. See how I did double stops? Then I went to a normal and I bent it. So we were working on bends. I showed you the thing for the see how they're using bends in that? They're only using 4 notes or 4 finger positions, but they're doing other notes because they're bending to them. See that? This, sorry guys, this is the lead for Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Well, what I was just doing up here is an ending, but I'm putting a slight bend on it. So that's something we haven't talked about that I wanted to talk about. So you're doing bends on your leads, and I talked about starting here. Now, when you end that little pattern, instead of going, put this on it. Just shake your wrist. Move your finger, shake your wrist. See how my wrist is shaking? That's one way to do it, moving your finger. You could do that. So it's you're getting a little vibe in there, you know? So that one I moved my finger, but I'm not moving it alone. What I've done is, instead of leaving it like that, I've anchored behind it with my middle finger and my index finger, and I use those to help move that string. See that? I'm moving my wrist a little bit, but you can do that where you move your wrist a lot, or you could just move it a little bit with your hand. That's a tough one, because you're bending, right? And when he hits that, he does a little shake, right? You can hear that little vibrato in there. Now that's the beginning of a Jimi Hendrix song. You hear him just doing. And then the song, dum, dum, ja, dum, dum, ja, I think it's Foxy. If you want to check that out, check out the very beginning of Foxy by Jimi Hendrix. So we got the double stops, we've got the bends, we've got that little shimmy at the end of a bend, so you can work on that. And then last lesson we covered this. Based on this stuff, I'm going to start getting into harmonics now. And the first part of the harmonics that I wanted to talk about, I have a lesson of our harmonics on the channel, by the way. Go out there and check out that harmonics lesson. You'll learn a lot about note placement and complementary notes to the root note you're out of. But what I haven't talked about is pinch harmonics. Might be better here. What's cool about pinch harmonics is, for real harmonics, you kind of got to be over a fret, and it only works on certain frets, but pinches work everywhere. Pinch harmonics are all about this hand here. And what you're going to do is, you're not necessarily muting with your palm, but what you're going to do is you're going to take your pick, you're going to choke up on it. So instead of having a big area, you're going to choke up so you're a little tighter. You're going to put the thumb right behind there. So you've got your pick position. You've probably gotten pretty good at holding your pick by now. So that's what we're going to work on right now. Pinch harmonics. And I'm going to not worry about the top of my fretboard right now. I'm going to stay down here, and I'm going to show you this, right? So let me get up a little closer. So what you're doing is you're using your index finger, the very tip of your finger here, and the back side of your thumb right there. You're going to take your pick. You're normally picking like this, right? You're going to, I got lessons on how to hold the pick and stuff in my channel too. It might be under short, but what you're going to do is you're going to choke up on it nice and tight. So you're going to do this, and then you're just going to roll it in. Take it like that, roll it in. Take it like that, roll it in. So all you got sticking out is that little tiny bit right there. Just enough to hit the string with. And what's happening is you're hitting it, I'm hitting it with my index finger right there. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. Let me see if I can get a little closer for you. It's almost as close as I can get, I think, guys. So I got my index finger. Hear that? That's my index finger. If I take the pick away, see how I can still do it? The thing is, though, it's a lot better with the pick. So, and I'm not grabbing the string, guys. I'm not grabbing onto it and throwing it around. And it's called pinch harmonic because you're kind of pinching off the note, not necessarily the pinch of you're not pinching, you're pinching this up, you're tucking it in, and it'll hurt a little bit. You'll feel it in your finger right here and your thumb a little bit when you choke it in like that. So just do a little bit each day. But I'm really just basically nubbing the string right after it strikes with my thumb muscle. But I'm also just barely touching the string with my index finger right as I strike. So it's kind of a combination. There's my index, there's my thumb, there's my pick, there's my thumb, there's my index, and now, the way I was achieving that is I was bending the note. So what I'm on is, let's go ahead and take the G string, your third string. You're going to take the 5th fret and the 7th fret. And basically, I'm using, like I said before, I'm using the other 2 fingers to help bend the string more easily. So I'm really only doing something with my ring finger, but I'm using the middle and index to help control the string. And here's the pluck. That's called a pinch harmonic. Some people call it chicken picking. Now you'll notice that it works on every fret position too. So if you want to climb your scale, like we were talking about a few lessons ago, you can pluck all the notes. See how it works on every string, every position. You just got to get good at it. So just keep trying. Hopefully that gets you in the ballpark. And now it's just go to the easiest position, which is, I think, the 3rd string, and just go to your A pentatonic, minor pentatonic scale position of 1, 3 on your 3rd string. Let it go. Pick, 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 and then choke up on it. Let it go, choke up. You'll find it. It's really tough. You'll find it. Just keep trying, guys. One more thing I want to touch on this, and that is the harmonics. There's a harmonic lesson on our channel, so I'm not going to get completely involved. But the main positions for your harmonics, to find your harmonics, are on your 12th fret, your 7th fret, and your 5th fret. So let me show you something. It is, let me switch back over here. Your 12th fret is the only place in your harmonic scalings, finding your harmonics on your neck, that are going to be the exact same note and octave of what's underneath it. So if you've got your E, 2nd octave E for your 1st string, here's your 1st octave and here's your 2nd octave. Not your 2nd octave, I think it's the 4th octave in the scale from the open E here. So you got open, then you got 2nd, third, and fourth. Fourth octave. The harmonic above this note is going to be the same note, same octave on all the strings. So to achieve that, what you do is you barely rest your finger on the string right above the fret bar. Here's your 12th fret. This is your 12th fret bar. It's also called the 12th fret. You're going to just barely rest your finger on top of that and pluck the string. Then pull your finger away. If you hold it there and don't move, it'll keep ringing out, but you can pull it away and let it ring out. It's hard to do, so don't get discouraged. Just keep trying. See that? I was moving around there for you to show you that you can kind of find it even if you're off a little bit. See how I'm a little bit below it, a little bit above it, a little bit above it, and I'm still kind of finding it, but if you're right over it, it'll ring out the best. So start working on trying to find those harmonics. Then go down to your 7th fret. Then go down to your 5th fret. That one's tough in the position I'm in. If you have a sharper sound, it's not mid-rangey like upper. I got mine as a mid-rangey kind of sound. It's easier to get. If I go into the, see how it barely shows up when I'm in the pickup that is on your neck pickup. But it'll show up when you're on the bridge pickup. It works better on the bridge pickup. So you could do it on your 12th fret, your 7th, and your 5th. Those are your main ones. Mainly this guy. I'll just show you this one more thing, but go check out the harmonics lesson on our channel that discusses all the different variations. But when you're in the 7th fret and you pluck a note, it's going to be, the note is 1 octave above. So this is also the same note as what's below it. This is not. When you do it here, in a few other places that you can find harmonics, it won't be the same note. This one's the same note. So that's an A note, right? But it's 1 octave up from its position. So you got 1st octave A, 2nd octave A, 3rd octave A, same note. See that? So it's 1 octave up from the position. So if this is a E, here's your 3rd octave E. This one, that one will go together because this is an E. Those two harmonics go together. They're 1 octave apart. Once again, check out the lesson on our channel. So that's stuff I want you guys to keep working on. Pinch harmonics, wiggle bends or shimmer bends or crazy, just little flares at the end of a note. Bending this like we did on the last lesson. Keep working on those double stops. Keep working on normal bends. Working on your scales, 3rd position. That's the new one we talked about last lesson. 2 4 2 4 2 4 1 4 1 or 2 5 2 4 because you got that 5th one in there, and then work on this too. Those are all part of your minor pentatonic scale, and you're able to play it like that. So find those positions, keep having fun with it, keep inventing, keep getting off the book, out of the box, screwing around, and stay in the box too. Find those boxes. 1 box, 2 box, 3 box. These are all little boxes. That's a box. If you're out of A, that's your 5th position, 4th and 3rd string. So keep doing that and have fun with it. It'll definitely help your playing. Hey, so that's it. I hope you guys got something out of this video, and if you did, please hit like and subscribe. That'll help our channel grow. Check out another video, go ahead and click this link right here. Check out our channel, see all our videos, lessons, and playlists. Go ahead and click that link right down there. As usual, we really appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.